Welcome to the video of Vort. Torah tells us that Moshe Rabbeinu made a complete accounting for how the money was spent that was raised to build the Mishkan. And the Medrash Tanchuma famously asks, if Hashem trusted Moshe Rabbeinu, why does Moshe Rabbeinu feel the need to make an accounting to the people? And so the Medrash has two versions of a story as to what triggered Moshe Rabbeinu to make this public accounting. One version of the story goes as follows. Moshe Rabbeinu heard people talking about him, and they basically accused him of living off of the public money and getting fat off of this fundraising campaign. We, the people, donated all this money for the Mishkan, and Moshe Rabbeinu is getting fat off of it. And therefore Moshe Rabbeinu says, Chayecha, I vow, that when this is all over, I will account for every single nickel and dime how it was spent, so nobody could have any suspicion at all as to the integrity of this process. So that makes sense. There is, however, another version. Says the Medrash Tanchuma, Rabbi Yitzchak Omer l'shvach. Moshe Rabbeinu heard praise. Moshe Rabbeinu heard amazing things being said about him. Shahayu Omrim, they said about Moshe Rabbeinu, Ashrei Yoladoto shel zeh. Praise is the mother who gave birth to this person. In other words, Moshe Rabbeinu is extraordinary. Hashem speaks continuously to Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu is a man who is complete and whole and intimate with the Ribono Shel Olam himself. This is what Moshe Rabbeinu heard, and this is what triggered him to make the public accounting. That's what triggered him to make a public accounting. Granted, if they were suspicious of his process, but here they had extraordinary trust in Moshe Rabbeinu. Here they held him in high esteem. Why would that trigger him to make a public accounting? Says Rabbi Yehuda Leib Ginsburg in his Yalkut Yehuda, that's precisely what triggered Moshe to make the public accounting. Because the greater esteem to which he was held is the highest standard that he felt obligated to hold himself to. It is somewhat counterintuitive. Sometimes people think, well, people have such trust in me, I don't have to, and I have such a reputation for integrity and honesty and piety, I don't have to do anything to earn that public trust. No, says the Yalkut Yehuda in explaining this Medrash Tanchuma, precisely the opposite. Moshe Rabbeinu was held in high esteem, in great piety. The person who was closest to the Ribono Shel Olam, if that's how people look at me, then I must hold myself to an even higher standard and do even above and beyond what is expected and required of me, such that I can earn that trust each and every day. And it's not just for public servants, it's for each and every one of us in our private lives. The greater we are held in esteem by our family, by our friends, by our neighbors and community, it is to that level that we should obligate ourselves to hold ourselves to an even higher standard. Good Shabbos.